Good afternoon, leaders. Good afternoon. I have decided to move to another spot in in the house. I hope you can see me clearly. I hope you can hear me clearly. I think it's a very nice spot. Yeah, it's a very nice spot for me. I can see myself very clearly now. So, yes, today we're going to talk about the significance of year end, when you are working in the male dominated industries, especially in Africa, guys, especially in Africa, because we've got this. It's not a tradition, but it's the way things have been working all along for businesses in Africa. Okay, so that is why I want to make this video, so that when you are a female leader, in the male dominated industries, you need to understand this kind of things. Okay, so it's what we're going to talk about in this video. Okay, so as you know, my name is Tinyiko Motileni. I am your leadership specialist for women who are working in the male dominated industries or leading in the male dominated industries. I advocate for leadership of women, guys, in the male dominated industry. So that is what is important for me, to stand for, And I also advocate for the growth of the mind. The mind needs to be positive and progressive all the time, so that you can be able to harness your potential, as a female leader. And I also advocate for the creation of generational businesses, guys, in order to reduce the poverty, make sure that the next generations they come in and they land on the softer cushion, so they have a choice. It's very important to have a choice in life. You mustn't live for something. Just have a choice, so that you can do whatever that you want. You can travel. I love traveling, guys. So I want to travel. I want to start traveling. So it's, for me, I can hear these countries that are calling me. I can hear Kenya calling me, So I really want to go there. I don't know what is it about it, but I really want to go there. Okay, back to the video. Sorry about that. I just, off-ramped to another section. All right, so guys, let's talk about what is it that is important for you to note, as a female leader in male-dominated industries, especially now that the year is going to end. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is that, okay, let me say, me as a female leader who's been in the male-dominated industries for 22 years, I've always worked with a labor that is coming from neighboring countries, labor that is coming from the villages, because the businesses that I've working in were all in the capital cities, the big cities of South Africa. So we had labor that was sourced from the villages. They would come from Limpopo, they would come from Eastern Cape, they would come from KwaZulu-Natal to Joburg, to the big city of mining, which is Joburg. Okay, so nearing a year end was very much significant for me, because these guys were coming from home to work in the cities, and they would leave their families there. They would come to Joburg and sleep, live in the at the locations, at the townships, and then, but their main family members, like wives and children, they would be at home, at the villages, So the only time, really, the only time, and I'm not saying they didn't go home during the year or something, but the only time, as Black people, the only time that where we get together, and Black people's family is not like me and my children and my partner or my husband or my wife. No, Black people family, it's me, my aunt, my grandmother, my uncle, my niece, my everybody. So that is the time where these guys, the employees, the male employees, are going home to be with their families. So December is that time whereby they get a chance to go home and be with their families. And that is, it's sad, in another way, because they, oh my god, they cannot be able to not to go home at that time. But you'll find that the job is demanding. Like, I've been working in the target based industries, the male dominated industries that are target based. So you take leave during the year, but December, I would need everybody to be at work, because there are many challenges in December. So I wouldn't give anyone leave. But it was sad for me, because when I think about that culture of Black people who goes home in December to be with their families, you could find it. It was very sad, guys. I don't want to lie. It was very sad, but unfortunately, I had to follow the rules also. You understand? So you need to be very much cognizant of that as a female leader, because that challenge of them not going home to be with their families at that time. And another thing, you'll find that most of the ceremonies, they will do it in December, because at least they got bonuses, and most of, so for them going home, for males, guys, who are working in the capital cities, in the mines, going home in December was the best, time for them to go and also do some family rituals and all those things. But unfortunately, the job would demand them to be at work. You understand? So I just want you to be cognizant of that as a female leader, because that is going to bring upon many things. Like, they would start thinking home, and not concentrate on the job. The second thing is that there would be accidents in the job. The second thing, there will be that, like, I have got to go home and take clothes with me, or send money, and I don't have that money. So there's so many things that is happening in their heads at that time, so many things. So it's very important, so that you, as a female leader, you must be prepared now in September, because those things for the employees, it's gonna be significant when we're nearing October, November. December, they are already out. They just want to be home. It's critical for you to prepare now as a female leader, so that you understand their psychology and be able to combat the challenges that will be coming with their psychological mind at that time. Okay, so this time, what is it that I was doing? How was I preparing all these things? When this time comes, when we're nearing the end of the year, I would be very much using team building exercises. So I would make sure that I increase my production team meetings. So I would hold meetings with them more, so that I can understand their psychology. I can understand who can be the best leader of the time, who can who is weak in their minds at the moment, because they've got challenges. You need to have those meetings, so that you can understand where everybody in the team stands in terms of thinking about year end, because it's very important. It's going to bring upon accidents, if you don't check up with their minds. So I would do team building exercise. I would reduce my disciplinary actions. Like, I would hold it back a little bit, so that you don't fuel the fire that is already burning in their heads. So find a way to hold back the disciplinary actions, so that they can see that you are on the same page with them. And I'm not saying the the problem child, you must leave him. No, you know there are other characters that you cannot just leave them, but you'll find that most of your employees or your team members, they are good, they are good, so you can afford to turn a blind eye onto something that is not important, a big mistake, so just hold back a little bit in terms of your disciplinary actions, like hold back the harshness, like relax a little bit, and make sure that you become part of their daily routine, and then just compliment them somehow, just compliment them somehow, so that they become they trust you and they come to you with their problems, their year-end problems, and you can be able to help them somehow, so it's very important, guys. I'm telling you, I didn't know about these things, but as I grow in my leadership, it was very important for me to increase that productivity at the end of the year, but I have to be cognizant of other things that are happening in my employees' minds. Okay, all right. The other thing is that you need to be as a target based industry. Most of the companies that I've worked for, they would change the production plan, the client would change the production plan and say, okay, we will do the brick that is not difficult to do, or we will do the what you call it, the brick that is demanding less push rates, so the productivity in terms of quantity will be a little bit less, so that we accommodate, those challenges that are coming with the year end in male dominated industries. So it was a very good gesture. Believe me, from the client, it was a very good gesture from the client to make sure that they reduce those quantities, so that we can accommodate those kind of problems. Okay, and another thing in terms of leave, if I can go back again to the leave, I had guys who were working in neighboring countries, guys who were coming from Zimbabwe, guys who were coming from Mozambique, so it was very important for them as well, besides the ones who are in South Africa, who are coming from the villages in South Africa. You also had others who are coming from neighboring countries like Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Okay, so it was very, very important for me to make a plan for them to go home. You understand? So as much as I was not giving out leave to anyone in December, but you'll find that this I was lucky, because these guys who were coming from Zimbabwe and Mozambique, they were in a different department, like they were in the engineering department. So they would work for each other. The other one would work 2 weeks, and then the other one would work another 2 weeks, so that the other one can take Christmas and the other one can take New Year. So they would complement, each other and work for each other, so that they can share the Christmas and the New Year. Okay, so that was easy for me to give them leave in that way. Okay, so guys, it is very, very important. Nearing year end, it's so important. And remember that because of the challenges that these males are facing, of going home to their families, sending money for Christmas clothes and everything, if ever the person is unable to deal with those challenges, they are going to divert themselves into what do you call it, into substances, alcohol or drugs. Or look out for those things as well, so it is very, very important for you as a female manager to be involved, a lot more involved this time of the year, in your teams, in your employees matters. You need to be very much involved this time of the year, because believe me, it's a very crucial time. The client would need their bricks or their product to be produced, and also you need to make sure that you align the client's need and the employees' needs. It's very important if you can align those two together so that the year can pass with peace, and then you start again in February and everybody somehow, even if a person didn't go and leave, but in January their mind is fresh. I don't know how it happens, guys. I really don't know. But somehow it happens that in January, everything, just go back to normal. The psychology, the body, the everything just go back to normal. So for me, it was very, very important to align the client's need and the employees' need when the year is nearing to its end. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I think this spot is very nice for me, so I'm gonna start making my videos from this spot. So thank you so much for being listening to this video. I will definitely see you in the next video, but I do have got one thing that I forgot about it. I have got a leadership masterclass that is coming up on the 1st of October, where I'm going to talk about how to deal with a difficult employee. Okay, so it's very important at the moment because people are going to be difficult, because they've got this own mind of December and everything. So how to deal with them, it's a very important masterclass that you need to attend. It's only 550 South African rands. So it's a very, very important masterclass. And another thing is that now is the time to bring team building programs, into place so that the team can be together in solving or in solving this challenge of December. So you need the team that is working together. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. I will definitely see you in another video. Bye bye.